Hi you guys, and welcome to step 4 of SewQuester. Today we're going to do block B. Now, if you're clever or you saw the last video, you probably know that over my shoulder is block B. You can see it's a very simple 4-patch. Each quadrant is a 4-patch with that same accent that we have in the middle, same as we did for block A. You're going to make a bunch of block Bs in this step, and then the next step we're going to start talking about how to set it all together. Remember, this pattern is my gift to you during these tough SewQuester times, and I'm giving it to you one step at a time, and you can go to our website. The links are below, or you can go to cozyquilt.com and there'll be a nice big button that says SewQuester on it. That'll take you to a page where we have each of the steps ready to download and links to each of the videos. So we are in video 4, step 4 of this SewQuester project. After the SewQuester and after a bit of time, we are going to remove those free patterns, and this will be a purchasable pattern. This was originally our April Strip Club quilt, and when this whole thing happened, I thought, how fun would it be to release it in steps? So I'm releasing to you, and hopefully you're learning something new. Maybe you're new to Cozy Quilt Designs. We have a lot of patterns that use 2.5-inch strips. We also have on our YouTube channel a lot of videos that are of our strip club, and you can see for many years we've been doing a strip club presentation once a month, and we put the videos up on our YouTube site. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you're new to it, you can pick up those old steps, as I mentioned. So steps 1 and 3 will be on our website. You can either click the links, and maybe I'll try to put one in the corner of up there, down there. Oh, I've learned so much, and there's still so much I don't know about this whole YouTube thing. But you can go to cozyquilt.com. If you can't find the links, because I think if you're watching it on your television set, I don't think you can see the links, and you can't see the comments below. So you need to go to your computer and then go to cozyquilt.com and download those steps. And if you are watching this on your television, I'm really hoping it's not like a 72-inch television, because that's a whole lot of me. That frightens me. God bless you. So before I get into step 4 and block B, I want to do a little infomercial. I want to invite you to Sewing Social. This is the event that I mentioned last time where I participate with 11 other quilt shops across the country, and it has been bananas. It has been gangbusters. But I mentioned it in the last video, but I didn't get a chance to show you what our blocks look like. So at this moment, I'd like to show you what our block and what our finishing option looks like, and all those pretty fabrics from Island Boutique. So to participate in Sewing Social, all you have to do is go to each of the participating shops, there's 12 of us, and buy a pre-cut block. We all are using the same fabric, so it all matches. We each have a different block that you can use in your quilt, and each shop has a finishing option. So go check out their finishing options, and as you go along, if you collect the codes on each of the sites and you enter them into the main organizer site, sewingsocial.com, then you can enter to win prizes. This sewing event is a limited time only, and as I mentioned, it is bananas. So I think we still have some blocks left. We do have, I think, some finishing kits left, and we do have some yardage. But I know we're going to sell out of a lot of it. We have more coming, so you be patient with us. More is coming along the way. But don't miss out on this opportunity to have a wonderful time and get cushy packages in the mail. There's my favorite type of packages. So sewingsocial.com, or go to cozyquilt.com and look for Sewing Social. There'll be a link on the first page. Now, are you ready to get started? Let's do step 4, block B. Now we're going to make block B. To make block B, it's very simple. You need your print half strips and your background half strips, and you will sew those two together. Make a bunch of strip sets as appropriate for the size you're making. Follow the pattern for more information, and then when you're done, you're going to press to the print strip. So now you have a strip set, and you're going to cut out segments from each of those strip sets. Notice I have two rulers here. One will be used to cut out the segments, and the other I'm going to use to help square up. Once I set a strip set down, I don't really like to move it, but I still have to square off these edges. Even though that might look like it's fairly square, I know that it's not, and I want to square off that the leftmost edge before I begin cutting out my segments. So the first thing I'm going to do, oh, sorry about the camera. The first thing I'm going to do is place this ruler so that one of the horizontal lines is along my seam line. That's a great way to make sure it's square. And while you're there, it's a nice idea to check that your strip sets measure the size they should measure. They do, thank goodness. It's always high pressure on the video camera. So I'm going to place that horizontal line on the seam line, scoot it all the way to the over to the edge, and I'm going to take another ruler. Without moving the first ruler, I'll place this ruler on the edge like this, remove the second ruler, and I am right-handed, so now I have an edge with which, whoops, wrong way. Now I have an edge with which I can square up. Once I have that done, I'm ready to cut away. You can use the Stripology ruler for this cut too. But just for variety, I'm going to use this wonderful Creative Grid ruler. I like a lot of rulers. I especially like the Creative Grid rulers. They have a little grippy stuff on the back. This size is an excellent size, and it does a lot more than just cut squares. It's by Karen Montgomery, and it's the Quick Trim and Circle ruler. It's got little holes in it. If you ever need to do circles, you can place your a point in one and then pivot and create circles. It's a great ruler, but really all I need for today is that 2.5 inch mark. I'll place a 2.5 inch mark on the edge of the fabric. Make sure not to move it. And then cut out a segment. And then just keep moving along. 2.5 inch segments for this pattern. Once you have a bunch collected, and by the magic of television I do, you will place two different segments together like this. And because the seams were pressed both to the print, the seams will nest. You can sew that 4-patch together to make one quadrant of your block. I think quilting is so cool. I geek out over it. The fact that you can sew strips together to cut them down into segments and then sew them back together, even though they're exactly the same. You flip one around and now you have a 4-patch, the most common block in all of quilting. I'm still amazed every time. I know. I'm such a geek. A quilting geek. Oh well. Okay, so now you're going to put these two pieces together like this, and just like we did on the other one, take them to the sewing machine and you'll stitch, open up, and then you'll have a 4-patch. 4-patch looks a lot like this. So pretty. So listen, if you're pressing and you're using the same fabrics I am, which have a little metallic in them, it's real metallic. So that metallic is going to get hot. Be careful when you're pressing because you might actually burn yourself on the fabric. So just a little warning. Make a bunch of 4-patches. After you do the 4-patches, here I have some magically made. Put those two like this. And move that out of the way. Oh, we'll put that one there because we don't want the blues touching each other. Those two like this. And then just as we did with the first block, we take that accent fabric, it will go in the middle, and then, like with the first block, I can't find my pieces. Oh yeah, here they are, white on white. White fabric on my white table, that's why I couldn't find them. That's my excuse, I'm sticking to it. Put these two pieces like that, and sew your block together, and there you have it. There's your block B. B. And you'll probably notice that you'll make fewer block Bs than block As. That's totally good. That's totally normal. You just proceed and trust the pattern. Trust the process. So now that you're all done with block B, you deserve a treat. So maybe chocolate. Maybe it's time for a glass of wine. Maybe it's time for, what is that drink? The Quarantini? Maybe it's time to have a little break. But you're on your way. Next, we're going to talk about how to set it, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the setting triangles and how to put all that together. You don't have to worry about your sashing fabric yet or your setting. That'll come into the next step. I want to thank you very much for coming on this journey with me, and comment in the sections. Comment how you're doing. Tell me what's going on. Tell me things you're grateful for. We are at week 2.5 of the SewQuester, and I'm starting to feel hopeful. I was feeling a little bleak. Sunday was a rough day. That's why I didn't come to you for the video, but today I'm feeling a lot more hopeful, and I realize that I'm grateful for a lot of things. One of the things I'm grateful for is for you guys. You're out here, you're doing this with me, and I've just loved all of your comments. I love to see your blocks and your progress. I love to see how excited you are, and you've really thrown warm and cozy vibes back to me, so I appreciate that very much. I'm grateful for the fact that this camera is not 360 degrees, so you can't see the entire mess in this room. I call it my studio, but it's actually just a tiny bedroom. It's a portable studio. That means that when company comes, or if the kids come back, then I have to put away the pressing station, which is an ironing board. I have to fold up my sewing station, which is a very cool storage center, and the back leaf drops down and that all compresses. I actually sew on a Sew Easy sewing table over here, and that has to fold down and go away. So I'm grateful for the time that I can sew, but then if I have company, I'm grateful for that too. So grateful you can't see the total mess that's in here. Although I'm looking around, and I think you can see the 2 blocks that we've worked on over the shoulders. That's over my shoulder. That's pretty fun. You can see I'm stitching on the Bernina 475 over here. That's what I've been doing my basic piecing on. Behind me, that's the bad boy. That's the Brother Luminaire. So I am very fortunate that I actually have 3 active sewing machines in here. There are benefits to being a sewing center shop owner. Over on my right side is an old Bernina 640, Old Faithful. I put the bunny up on the design wall behind me because it's going to be Easter coming up soon, and I don't want to forget that. It's crazy, and Easter's not going to be the same, but it's still going to be a celebration, and so I have all of my favorite embroidery designs from Easter back there. Over on my other shoulder here is some wool work that I did that's been hanging out for a little while. Sampler something. I'll note it in the comments. But you tell me in the comments what you're working on, what you like, what you're doing, and what you're grateful for. I do think that everything is going to go back to normal. And when it does go back to normal, or even before it does, we should start planning for normalcy again. I know Christmas time, I'm a big Christmas fan. And when Christmas comes around, I'm all in, 100% in. And then afterwards, I'm ready for something else. So I know that there's sort of a little level of a low that I hit right after Christmas. So what I've learned to do is start planning a trip or something for beyond Christmas. And so I think we should start planning something. I know that right this time, if it were not this crazy world that we're in, if everything were normal, I would have just completed teaching on a cruise. In fact, this is my cruise shirt, and even though it's rainy and dreary outside, I thought I'd be festive and fun and wear my cruise shirt on this video today. Next year, I'm teaching on a cruise with Deb Luttrell, and it is going to go to the Caribbean again, and it's going to be super fun. And if you've never done these cruises, I invite you. The cruise I'll be teaching on next year is sponsored by Stitch in Heaven. I am one of the paid teachers. There will be 2 of us on that cruise. The other one will be the fantastic Jackie Kunkel. She's super wonderful. Met her on cruises and we've become fast friends, and she's just terrific. Great teacher to have. I will be teaching the Hanging Gardens quilt, which is one of our all-time bestsellers. It's a pattern designed by my mom, Georgette DeLorco, and here's a shameless shout out for my mom. She creates some of our best-selling patterns ever. And she also has her own website where she sells digitized quilting designs. So if you have a robotic long arm system, you want to buy your patterns from Georgette. The company name is quiltersniche.com, and I'll put links down below. But if you search for Georgette DeLorco or Quilter's Niche, you'll find some really terrific edge-to-edge designs or block designs. Some of them are custom for our quilts. She does have a quilting design custom for Hanging Gardens. So if you are doing that quilt, it's really stunning, just absolutely beautiful. Okay, that was a segue. Back to the cruise. Deb Luttrell owns Stitch in Heaven, and they sponsor these cruises. You sign up through her, and then she provides the sewing machine, so all you have to do is show up. You can even buy pre-cut kits, and so all you have to do is really show up and sew. The sewing room is open 24/7. So if you can stay open, if you can stay awake 24 hours, you can sew 24 hours. You can choose to go into the ports, or you can choose to sit and sew. So it's really very much a quilting cruise. Plus we are on the Royal Caribbean boats, and they're just, the service is wonderful. Everything is fantastic. It's really a great time, and I'm sad that I wasn't able to go this year. And if you were on my cruise and you're watching this now, I'm sorry we couldn't do it, but hey, let's do it next year. So look for the links below and consider signing up for one of those cruises. Absolutely amazing. But you deserve a treat, and you deserve something wonderful. And when this is all said and done, we're all going to get back to normal, and life will be absolutely wonderful again. In the meantime, I'm very grateful for you. Please keep me posted. Go to my Facebook page. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and click that bell for the notification button so you get notified when the next step comes out, and all of our other, when we're back to normal scheduled program, all of that comes back out. And I appreciate you sitting with me and just helping me, watching me as I work out this whole new process of the YouTube thing. Thanks very much, and you guys take care. It's great being with you.